Now let's talk about what's going on here.
They're now extending and going down into the battlefield in pairs. Each one is paired off. And there's a blank file there, so there'll be one soldier that doesn't have a partner. In the light company, they were one was always loaded. The other would be the one firing.
Company will extend to the left.
They're now
5 paces.
extending 5 paces.
To the left, extend. March.
They're now marching. They count off. The front rank looks forward. The rear rank looks to the back. And then at 5 paces, they go to a kneeling position. Makes a smaller target.
Independent fire by pairs.
And they're now firing independently by pairs. We're not using live ammunition this time, but they prime and load. Notice one is loading to the front and the other loads to the rear. Always keeping they never point the weapon at their own partner. You notice how they fire, and the other one is aiming while the other one is loading, and he'll tell them ready, and then they will fire. Now they cease firing now. They're going to be moving. So they're now both loaded.
Lights, prepare to advance. 10 paces. Front rank.
They're now advancing.
Front rank only. March.
They'll go 10 paces.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now take their targets. They fire.
Fire!
Now the rear rank will now come forward and go forward 10 paces, unless the officer asks them to rejoin.
How do they know which side to pass?
They always pass on the left side because the musket is always on the right. Always keeping themselves between the musket. Now the other ones will join and rejoin. No, they're going ahead. They're pushing the advance. Now some are going to the right. They shouldn't. That's learning curve. They now always keep dressing. Now the other rank will come up. They're reforming their pairs.
Now, Glenn, they don't fire until they hear from their file
That's
partner.
right. They say ready. They will say ready.
So that there's always one musket.
One musket loaded. Yeah.
Okay.
And when they're firing at will, that means they're firing in pairs. So one is always loaded, and the other then takes his aim. Now you notice how the rear rank always puts the musket to the rear when he reloads.
Fire, prime and load. Prepare to retire.
They're now retiring, which means they will move backwards. It's always done discipline-wise. They don't run. It's all by marching.
1, 2, 3, target. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reload.
Turning around, they're reloading. The others are holding their targets, waiting for the ready. You hear them yelling ready. Now they will retreat 10 paces, and the other ones now will aim. As soon as the soldier is out of their sight, they will reload, or they will aim.
7, 8, 9, 10. Reload.
Picking a target. Even though the muskets were not very accurate, they still aimed at something and hopefully would hit it.
But this is different, right? Light infantry actually pick a target and aim.
That's right.
Where
Yeah.
a line company
Just fired volleys.
Yes.
Reform pairs.
They're now reforming pairs. Passing to the right of the soldier. Okay, now they're reforming. They're always within touch. They know each other very well.
Independent fire by pairs. Independent fire by pairs.
Independent fire by pairs means they keep one musket loaded and still firing and aiming at targets.
Hear those ready? Ready?
They would be called skirmishers in the American Army, but these are our light company. They were very versatile. They used natural cover if they could, but this is an open field, so there's not much of an advantage.
And what would they be called in the French army? Voltigeurs.
Voltigeurs, right?
Voltigeurs.
Exactly. That's right. So every army seemed to have them, and they were very handy to have. And
And they quite often have their own little personal battles out in front of the main armies.
that's right. That's right. Yep. They would again soften up the enemy, and if the enemy was showing weakness, then the line troops would march in and carry on. But
Light, shoulder, arm.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Glenn. Really appreciate it.
Right, face.